All right, who's ready for some more fun? So here I'm pulling out some clay, and the focus of today is we're just going to use the material and let it show us the way. So I got some balls of clay out, and this is about using the resources that we have around us and building something amazing for ourselves, and using that to kind of help guide us and move forward as we find our way. So, question for you guys, have you guys ever felt that I'm lost, or I'm not really sure where I want to go, or the direction I want to take, or even how to get there? I think all of us have. The main problem is that most people stay in that space and they don't get out of it. So the purpose of the lesson today is we're going to take our first steps, and I'm hoping that I can give you guys some ideas to hopefully help you uncover a piece of that, and it'll get you started on this journey. So as you can see here, I'm starting with this little character, and I'm just starting to build out shapes and making a face and seeing what comes out. Just like life, I'm adding some ears, I'm adding some shapes, I'm adding some, maybe a nose or a mouth, and seeing if I like it. If I do, great, I'll keep it. If not, I can kind of shift and take it off. Just like life, you try out a lot of different things, and whatever it is that you love, that you're passionate about, it sticks. And you get rid of everything outside of that. And so, the main thing about today's lesson is to get started. And I don't want you to think that you have to have a perfect idea or a perfect destination that you're going after, or in this case, a perfect character or perfect masterpiece that we're trying to get. But I do want you guys to have a direction. That way you can actually start moving instead of standing still. The best way to explain this, or a good way to explain this, is in a story, because we learn a lot from stories. So I wanted to kind of bring up the concept from the movie's Cars. Lightning McQueen is a racer, and he wants to become the best racer in the world. He's on his way to his the Piston Cup in California. And of course, you know what happens. He gets sidetracked, gets lost, and ends up in Radiator Springs, trapped. Now, at first, he's trying to get out of there and is really irritated and just wants to escape. However, he grows and learns to love this town and the people that are there. And by the end of the movie, you notice that his mindset and his priorities shifted, and he's kind of a new person. That's not to say that he failed at becoming the best racer. It's just that as he was growing, he learned more important things, and things that were more important to him, like his friends and his family, and the people that were around him, and even more about racing. So, think about the fact that he wanted to become the best racer, and that was a destination, that was his dream, and that's something that he wanted to go after. However, if he didn't have that, he would have never ended up in Radiator Springs. If he wasn't going so hard after that, he would have never ended up in that little town. He would have never found his best friends and his family. So the underlying idea here is that I want you guys to think about an area. What is it that you're passionate about? What is it that you love to do? What is it that, if you could, you would do it for free? And start testing different things out and going on a journey of figuring out what lights you up inside. That way, you guys can have a destination to go after instead of standing still. So you can see our character here, and he's starting to, I'm starting to add in a little bit of character to him. A little bit of hair, a little bit of gesture. starting to put a little bit of a, started out as a smile but shifted, because in the next little section coming up here, I want to talk a little bit about something else that might derail you a little bit, and something to really consider as you're going along on this journey. So you're going to see here soon that I'm going to start adding a few chains, a few ropes, if you will. And they're going to be tied down by some big weights. And what I want this to kind of resemble and mean to you is some of the opportunities that we have in life, some of the things that we missed, that we passed over, that we were, some of the chances that we were too scared to take. And think about the ones that are still weighing you down today, that you constantly think of, or are like that weight on your shoulder. When I was doing this, I was thinking, kind of visualizing like Ed Marley from A Christmas Carol, and how all the choices in life kept adding links to his afterlife, kept adding weight that he was going to have to carry on forever into eternity. That's something that you're going to have to carry around too if you're too scared to take an opportunity, or you're too scared to step up and go after that thing that you truly love to do. And as you're making this for yourself, think about each one of these weights being something. An opportunity, or a different area that you missed, or doesn't even have to be that you missed, just something that you did, but you don't feel like you put your whole heart into it, or you didn't do your best job, and it kind of weighs on you. And that regret that you have is going to be a lot heavier than any failure that you can do. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And looking at that character, he's a little bit sad, however, still has a little bit of a spark or a smirk to look towards the future and know that he can get up and not be tied down forever by this, and that he can overcome anything. And I want you guys to go out there, have fun, be creative, and live a life of abundance. It's better to have a life of oh wells than a life of what ifs.